guys, welcome to another video in my series 12 Days of Christmas Cookies. Today, the recipe is for coconut macaroons dipped in chocolate. This recipe is so delicious. I keep making it every year just because my mother-in-law likes it. And also I love it too. It's fun to do, it's easy. I got this recipe from the Nigella Lawson cookbook. So I totally recommend you to try it at home, and now you can watch the video and I will tell you how I make it. So let's get going.
So the first thing that we're going to do is to set the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. For the full list of ingredients and instructions, check the description box down below. So for this recipe, we're going to use 2 large egg whites. So I'm going to separate them, making sure not to break the yolk. And we will save the yolks for another recipe. So for the next step, we are going to throw our egg whites into the bowl of a standing mixer. If you don't have one, just use your hand mixer. And we will going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. So cream of tartar in this recipe, it will act as a stabilizer. We're going to do a meringue, and we don't want it to bleed or separate. I don't know if any of you have done a meringue before and it starts to kind of water down. The cream of tartar will avoid for our meringue to do that. So we're going to beat the egg whites until they're frothy, and be careful not to overdo it. We don't want like stiff peaks. We just want it frothy. Don't overdo it. So once we reach the frothiness that we're looking for, or soft peaks, we will move on to the sugar. I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of white sugar. The way that we are going to add the sugar is not all at once. We're just going to grab a tablespoon or a teaspoon, and we're going to do it little by little because we do not want to deflate these egg whites. I am going to increase the speed a little bit in this part and keep adding my sugar little by little. This meringue is looking shiny and nice, so I'm gonna turn it off and we're gonna move to the next step. I'm gonna grab my spatula and scrape the sides to give it one last good mix. So for a little bit of nuttiness, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of ground almonds. A different name for ground almonds is almond meal, and nowadays it's so easy to find at any grocery store. So once you add your almond meal, you're going to be really careful with it. You're going to go from the sides to the center and repeat very gently. You do not want to take all the air out that we work so hard to put on our egg whites. Next thing, we're going to add a pinch of salt and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Give it a final gentle mix, and we will move on to the next step. For the final ingredient, we are going to use coconut sweetened flakes. Make sure that they're sweetened flakes. We're going to use 1.5 cups. We're going to pack it down and we're going to add it to our egg white mix. And we're going to fold them very gently. My mixture is looking good, so we're going to move to the next step. I'm going to use a traditional cookie sheet that is covered in parchment paper. I think parchment paper for this recipe works the best. I'm going to grab my trusty cookie scoop that I got from Amazon. I'm going to link it down below, and I'm going to start scoop my cookies. Make sure to leave about 1.5 inches space in between, just because they fluff up a little bit during cooking time. If you don't have a cookie scoop like I do, you can use a teaspoon or a tablespoon. I'm using here an ice cream scoop just to show you that if you want to do them bigger, that is totally fine as well. So now that I have the 2 trays, I'm just gonna place them in the oven for about 20 minutes until they're light golden brown. After 20 minutes, the macaroons are ready. They're nice golden brown color. We're going to set them to the side to cool off, and in the meantime, for an extra step, this is totally optional, we're going to melt some chocolate. If you want some further instructions on how to do that, check my previous video. So I'm going to place my macaroons on a cooling rack, and we are going to move to the next step. So for this step, I have some melted chocolate in which I'm going to start dipping my macaroons. This is completely up to you. I think they taste really good with a little addition of bitter chocolate, but if you just want to leave them like they are, that is totally fine as well. And after the chocolate has set for a few hours, they are ready to be enjoyed. They are so good. They're crunchy on the exterior and very gooey in the middle.
So this is another recipe in the series 12 Days of Christmas Cookies. Make sure to check the other ones and give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
All right, okay.
Okay. This videos. He's like about to just do this, and I'm like distracted. That's why I'm like, oh, here you ho.
Here you ho!
I love it.
Here you go, you ho!
Here you go, you ho.